During a craft fair, you will have a very quick second to make a first impression. So it's really important to capture the attention by using some of the techniques that we're going to be talking about. So let's take a look at them. The first thing you want to do when you're setting up for your first craft fair is choose your color. You want to choose a color that helps highlight your products so that your products are the star of the show. You also could pick a contrasting color. You could go with earth tones. What you don't want to do is what this vendor did with the rainbow tent and then with the red and checked tablecloth. It's very distracting. So you just want to make sure that your product is the star. Next thing is you want a fitted tablecloth. Let me tell you, the first time I did a craft fair, I went the cheap route and I went with bed sheets. It was windy and it was a disaster. You really want fitted sheets so that way you look great while you're inside and when you're outside facing the elements. As you can see, what you don't want to do is have something that's way too short so that you can see all of the extra crates and all of your stock underneath the table. Next thing, you want your company name to be easily recognized. So either you want to have it on a banner or a table runner or on a backdrop, but you want the people to recognize your company and be able to easily, quickly understand what you're selling. What you don't want to do is have something with no name. It does not look professional. The next thing is you want to clearly mark your prices. Whether you do this with chalkboards or you do this with picture frames, make sure that it's the same throughout your display. You could also use price tags. You just want to make it so that the customer quickly knows what the price is without having to ask. What you don't want to do is have something with no prices. Some people just do not want to ask. Next thing is consider height. You want to have something with different heights. It adds a lot of interest and it makes it so that you can show a lot of your products. What you don't want to do is have everything just laid out straight. Next thing you want to consider is you want the the buyer's eyes to flow throughout your display. So you want to be able to connect the dots. What you don't want to do is have things that are not well organized. Next, you want to use the concepts of repetition. So if you're using baskets, use baskets throughout. And you also want to do groupings. So you might want to do groupings of 3 or so, and then have another grouping. What you don't want to do is have something where the buyer's eyes get stuck and they don't quickly see everything. The next thing you want to consider is having a point of sale. You want to have somewhere where the customer quickly knows where to go, and are you taking Venmo? Are you taking Square? Are you taking cash only? You also want to have somewhere where they can put their bags or their purses down. You want to make it very easy for the customer to buy. This is also a really good spot to have some impulse buys, something, a few things that might be a little bit cheaper. Think of it as like a grocery aisle where you have some like candy and things that you might impulsively buy. What you don't want to do is have the customer confused. Do you take Venmo? Do you take Square? Do you take cash? Also, you want the customer to know exactly where to go. The next thing is props. This is where the fun really begins. And this is where you really can start to show your creativity. You want your props to tell the story of your business. So I sell upcycled books and upcycled magazine ornaments and bowls. So I really mix books with the environment. So I have a stuffed animal Lorax. And the Lorax, it's perfect because it combines both of those things. I also have quotes about books. I sometimes use an upcycled um, card catalog. So you really have fun here. Now, you want to choose one or two of the following. So for scale, you might want to have something really big, maybe a big a cardboard cutout of something, or a giant pen if you sell pens. The next is humor. As you can see in this sign, it's really funny. It gets your attention. It makes you want to go inside their little shop. Next is nostalgia. Nostalgia is really fun. So you might want to use an old light bright. You might want to use old VCR tape, something to bring in history and make you think about your childhood. Next is motion. As you can see here, the tumblers are slowly spinning and you really can see all the sides of the tumblers. Next is interactive. So you might want to have samples if you sell perfumes or soaps. If you sell different types of dip, you might want to have a little tasting station. If you sell jewelry or gloves and scarves, you might want to have a mirror. The next idea to attract customers is promotion. Whether you're doing a show special or giving 10% off, or perhaps you're spinning a wheel and that will decide what you get for free or what you get off, you definitely want some sort of promotion. And the last idea is surprise, because who does not like a good surprise? So maybe you have a mystery bag, maybe you give something free with a purchase. Some element of surprises can always be fun. Happy crafting and happy vending.